Shall we continue our class? Shall we continue?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sure. So now we are going to talk about D2A tasks. When they ask you, hey Sai, what are the tasks that you are doing every day in your company? That time you have to take tool by tool and you have to explain the tasks that you do in each tool. Okay. Yeah. So these just I'm going to read out. I'm not going to write anything like this here. I'm not going to write anything. Just I'm going to read it out. Okay. And I'll be sharing this recorded video, right? Okay, I'll be sharing. So just go through this video and just make a list of all these things. Okay, in your own words. Okay, so that you have to mug it up these things. Otherwise, you can't remember these many things. At least if you read few things, if you explain an interview, that's it, more than enough. Okay. Now, first EC2, because initially before we start the DevOps, that time we discussed AWS cloud, right? In that EC2, in that what are the things that we do? We launch many servers to install DevOps tools. To install each DevOps tool, we have to launch instances, right, every now and then, right? For testing purpose and all new tools we have to install. That time we have to launch instances. Okay. Sometimes we need to increase the configuration like CPU, RAM, hard disk, and all. Sometimes, okay, based on the requirement. That time you have to intimate to AWS teams because they are going to scale. They are going to scale up and down without stopping instances. Okay, that time you need to collaborate with AWS teams to increase or decrease the configuration of those instances. So that's the second one. Third one, providing limited access to team members by creating user accounts in EC2. Right, in Linux class, we have talked about user administration, like how to create a user, how users will log into your EC2 instance, how to manage that, read, write, execute permissions and all. Right, in Linux class, we have discussed. So sometimes to your fresh, juniors and all, you give limited access to your EC2 instances with only giving few permission, read only, okay, read and write permissions, read and execute permissions to few directories. That is one of the tasks that you do. Okay, managing ports as per the requirement. Okay, we have to open required ports and we have to block based on the requirement. That's one more thing that we do. And the keys and all, right, whenever we launch any new instances, we don't keep new key pair. We select existing key pairs and we keep one or two common key pairs for all instances. Those key pairs we keep in a centralized location. That the different company, they follow different centralized locations. Okay, that we store in that centralized location. Okay, any place. Okay, or anyone, your GitHub also we can keep that key pairs. Okay, one common location so that there won't be losing out that key pair. Okay, so that keys and all we keep in a secure location, the PEM key. Okay, so that's what we keep in a secure location because we use the same common key to access all instances, right? That's why we keep in a secure locations. These are the simple tasks in EC2. Okay, coming to Git, what are the things that we do in Git? First one, storing scripts. Okay, we write in Ansible class, we have written YAML scripts, playbooks. In Docker class, we have created Docker files. All those things we are going to store in GitHub. That's the first thing. Every day. That's what we are going to do. Second thing. Okay. And those we are going to share with our colleagues. Okay. Those we are going to share with. That's what Git pull, Git push, and all those things happen. Right? They share and they modify again, they push. That's what. Okay. Then integrating GitHub with Jenkins in the process CI/CD. In the project, we integrated, right? So that's what we are going to integrate GitHub with Jenkins in the process CI/CD process. Okay. And running Maven jobs after pulling code from GitHub. Sometimes without integrating Jenkins, we just pull code from GitHub and we build that code by using Maven. In Jenkins class, I've shown you, right? Without using Jenkins, how to build. That time also we pulled code from GitHub. There also we use GitHub. Okay, and also we train our team members, colleagues every now and then. That is one more task. Storing this code, Java, Python, and all given by developers. Sometimes they don't know how to use GitHub. They don't know how to store that code. That time they share that code to you through email or some files by any means. Okay, so those things you are going to store in GitHub. Okay, that one. And sometimes we need to, clients, clients and all, right? Sometimes they want to verify the code which is there in GitHub. Sometimes they want to test whether that code is good or not. They want to test. That's unnecessary. What code is it? What a developer, they store the code in GitHub that they want to test. That time we have to provide repository access to clients. Repository access. Access means what we do, we take their machines, we generate public key, from their machine. That key we copy in repository, and we are going to clone. We'll inform them to clone, so that without giving GitHub credentials, they can simply clone. I told you that in GitHub class, in that I have explained how to use SH keys in order to clone, without giving credentials. Okay, that's how we give client access. Creating private repositories. Okay, sometimes based on the requirement. Okay, so whenever you find any new things in GitHub, because they keep on modifying, right? If you find any new things, then you document all those steps. Okay, in any Word document or any other document, so that the others can refer your inventions, new findings and all. And yeah, sometimes developer, they don't know anything about Git. They don't know. That time you have to take their machines remotely. How to take remote session already we have seen in Ansible class. SH, IP address and all. Okay, you have to take remote sessions. You have to install install Git, and you have to generate public keys, and you have to connect their machines to GitHub. Okay, that you need to do. That is one more thing. Okay, and yeah, sometimes we fork and clone repository, forking repositories. Sometimes some other GitHub accounts, client GitHub account sometimes would be there different. That time some important repositories we fork to our GitHub, our company's GitHub account. That is one thing. And taking older versions of code, because every time you push, you commit, that will be stored as a new commit, right? So as per the requirement, sometimes we take older code and all to use. Okay, that already have explained it. SH connections and all, you have to set up of all your colleagues, employees, machines. You have to connect with GitHub by using SH keys and all. Yeah, these are the things generally we do in GitHub, Git and GitHub. Yes, in that I think I have explained around 10, 10 or around more than 10. So in that, even if you explain 3 to 4, more than enough. Guys, you understood, right? What are the things that you have to explain? Everyone, please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
In that, you can explain some 3 to 4 tasks, right? Correct? Yeah, that's it. That's more than enough. Got it? So that is all about Git. Come into second tool, that is Docker. In Docker, what we do? Yeah. See, these developers, testers and all, they need to test some applications. Like after writing code, they want to test. So, okay, they have written some code, they want to test. To test, they need one machine having some softwares, like, which Red Hat OS with the Java software, Java version 1.8 as you. So to test that one, they need this environment. So what they do, they'll inform to you, DevOps engineer, hey, DevOps engineer, I want one Docker image having Red Hat OS plus Java 1.8 software. That time what you do, you create Docker file. In that you mention OS instruction and this Java, software, how to install that, run instruction, you mention install this one. This Docker file you create. From that you create Docker image. These you are going to push to Docker Hub. And you inform to the developer, hey developer, there's an image in Docker Hub, you take that image. So developer will take that image and he'll create content out of that image. In that he will install, he will deploy that code, he will test. Got it? So when they need particular environment machine, they don't launch EC2 instance. They'll inform you. Then you create Docker file. From that you create Docker image that you push to Docker Hub and you'll inform to developer. They will take that image from Docker Hub, they'll create Docker container. In that they'll put the code, they will test. That's a major task that we do. In your company, assume that some 100 developers are there, 100 testers are there. Keep on asking, hey, I want that Docker image with these softwares. I want this Docker image with those softwares. You'll fed up with this task, guys. Trust me. This is one thing that we do. Okay. Testing some website by using port mapping. So UI teams, they have given that index.html file, UI teams. So they want to test the website. That time they don't launch EC2 instance because different instance. That's a waste of money. So when they give that file, what do you do? Okay, this is your instance. You create Docker container, web container with port mapping. With port mapping, and also you volume the volume mapping. This volume is going to be HTML folder. Okay, then you take that file. Okay, you take that file in your EC2. You keep that file in your base machine folder. The index file will be here. Then you take this IP address port mapping. Already you did this port. Then you can see the website. I think the same thing, same kind of thing that we did right in our project. In yesterday's class, we did something similar to that same thing. So that every now and then they keep on giving these files and all. That time you keep those files in your current directory, so that volume mapping is that will be displayed in HTML directory. You map HTML directory so that website will be displayed. Port mapping is already there. That's how you can do it. That's how we can test websites and all. Okay. And providing training to employees, obviously in Docker, we need to provide training to developers, testers, because they don't know how to create containers and all. We have to provide training to them. Sometimes we share images with our colleagues. Okay, that images, we keep in some images privately, some images publicly in Docker Hub. Those we share with our colleagues, so that they will pull those images, they will create their containers. Okay, and what else? Yeah, so when you get the final output is right. Okay, that var file. Sometimes we need to test in all environments. Like we created a Tomcat, right? Okay, we created Tomcat, right? Okay, so like that, sometimes there could be some websites also or anything. Sometimes we might need to test in different operating system, different softwares and all. What the developers did right. The same thing we need to do. Sometimes developers they do it, sometimes that we do it. The same kind of thing. And one more thing, yes, testing var files mainly. Whatever we did in our project. Testing war files in Tomcat, installing in Tomcat, that we do on a day-to-day basis, because we need to test, right? Okay, that is one more thing that we do. Yeah, sometimes we share Docker images to our clients. Clients, they request us, hey, I need that Docker image, this Docker image. So that time we share these Docker images to those guys. Okay, Docker images. Client requests us, hey, I want a Docker image with these softwares. Then we create Docker file. We mention all instructions, we create image, we push that onto Docker, we share to others. Okay. And also sometimes to test some DevOps tools. That time, sometimes we don't launch easily instances to test. Suppose I want to install Ansible, I want to test. That time you need not to take easy instance. That time we take Docker container, in that we install Ansible and we test. For each and every purpose, we need not to launch EC2 instances. Okay, so these are the major tasks that we do. Even though small tasks, we do a number of tasks. We do these tasks a number of times. Okay, because we have so many guys are there in the company. They keep on requesting us. You'll fed up with these tasks every day. Got it? Guys, understood? At least in that, if you explain some 2 to 3, more than enough. Understood or not? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That is one thing that generally we do in Docker. Now coming to Ansible. So what we do in Ansible? In Ansible, generally we do many tasks, guys. Many more tasks. Okay, let me show you. Let me explain. So starting from small things, I'm going to explain. Assume that in your company, you have okay, client is having some 500 machines on the client. In all 500 machines, you need to manage configuration. In all 500 machines, you need to manage configuration. Managing configuration means every day you might need to create some files, edit those files, deleting those files. Those could be normal files or link files, zip files, hidden files, could be tar files. You might need to create all those things, edit, delete and all. That is one major task that you do. Okay, creating, copying files to machines. All we discussed, just go through Ansible tasks, copying files, deleting files, creating folders, deleting and all. That one more task we do. Okay, and changing permissions and all. Already we have written Ansible scripts. While copying a file, while creating a file, we have modified, permissions and all. Okay, chmod that, we have given, right? Mod and all. Okay, that module name we have in module, that file module. Okay, it's file name. So everything we did. So how to change permissions and all that we did. And how to create users, how to create groups, how to change permissions and all. Okay, those we do every day. Okay, when you create a user, see, one user is there. He should be able to access all these. Assume that these are web servers. He belongs to UI team. So he should be able to access all my web servers. That time I need to create a user. Okay, I need to provide access to them so that he can log into all these servers. That is all. Installing packages based on requirement, uninstalling, upgrading, downgrading, managing services, starting services and all, right. We install web package. Okay, different Java software we install, like any kind of package. Okay, installing big application, web application, Tomcat application. Okay, Jenkins, all these things also we did. That also we do every day. Executing some shell scripts and shell commands, like while installing Tomcat. I've shown you, right? Okay, forget about that. That command are big applications. And yeah, pushing HTML files to nodes. Assume that these are web servers. Okay, so HTML file, UI team, they give HTML file that you need to push. Push means copy that files to respective location, HTML directory. Copying file to HTML directory. That also we did in web server. When I talk about web server in Ansible, we deployed web application, web server. That time I was showing you how to copy HTML file. Okay, and also, yeah, sometimes we need to download packages. Okay, download. For that also we use module. One module we use in playbook. Okay, some URL is get URL module we use. Okay, by using that, if you run that playbook in all these nodes, the package will be downloaded. Okay, suppose see, you want to install a package which you have to download first. So that time by using get URL module we can download. See, Tomcat, I think. Yeah, Tomcat we downloaded it first. After that only we installed, right? Yeah, same thing. That already we discussed. Just go through once. Okay. And also we connect Jenkins, this Ansible with Jenkins in the process of CI/CD. Okay, how to connect and copying WAR files and all. Okay, that already we discussed. If you get any new admin task based on that, you have to do that, we can't predict. They may give any new admin task, that depends on company to company. And you have to provide training sessions to your colleagues and all. That is one thing that we do. Yeah, if at all any issues are there in any one node, you have to take remote session of that node. You know, right? How to take remote session. That also in Ansible as we discussed. SH, that server, remote session. You verify what actually went wrong. Like that, we take remote sessions and all. Okay. Yeah, these are the things generally we do in Ansible. These are the major tasks. In that, just explain some 3 to 4. That's more than enough. Okay. Coming to Maven. Maven is comparatively smaller tool, so you have limited tasks here. Okay. Okay. Maven, in what generally we do, building source code manually whenever needed. Okay, without using Jenkins, we generally build manually. Earlier we have shown you, right, in my laptop without using Jenkins, just for testing purpose, whether WAR file is getting created or not. That we do. Yeah, Maven mainly we are using as a part of CI/CD pipeline process. So how we connect and all that you have to explain. Okay, and after building, we'll get console output, right? Okay, in Jenkins, after building every job, we'll get console output that you have to share to respective developers and testers so that they will figure out the issues and they will address the issues. In this, you are going to work closely with the developers and testers. That is one of the tasks we do. We work closely with the developers and testers, and because Maven, that tool used by all our team members, right? So yeah, just in that, even you explain one or two more than enough. Like building WAR files, integrating with the Jenkins and all, sending that console output to developers and all, working closely with the developers. These are enough. Now coming to Jenkins. In Jenkins, what we do? So Jenkins, mainly Jenkins we are using for CI/CD deployment purpose. Okay, the major task that we do is in the part of CI/CD deployment process we use Jenkins. In Jenkins, we create user accounts and all, so that users can log in. User administration we discussed, right? So that users will log in and we'll give limited permissions to those users. Okay, like developer, we created roles and all, right? That's how we manage permissions, user access. Then we configure master slave setup so that if at all any load is more in master, slaves will take excessive load that we create based on the requirement. And by using Jenkins, we deploy big applications, WAR files and all. into Tomcat. That already we did, right? Okay. And integrating all other tools with Jenkins. That is one of the tasks we do every day. Integrating all other tools with Jenkins. Okay, if a new tool is there that we need to learn, okay, that you need to integrate with Jenkins. That we generally do. Sending build output, build history to developers. That already we discussed in Maven. That actually belongs to Jenkins also. Sending job console output to developers and testers. Configuring upstream and downstream jobs. Sometimes we need to link multiple jobs. In first project we discussed. So you need to configure upstream and downstream and all. We need to create different views like pipeline view, Maven views, different views for proper segregation that we do every day. Polysym and build periodically we have to configure based on some jobs. Okay, some jobs, that will be information given by developers and managers. So based on that, you need to enable polysym and build periodically options. Taking backup of Jenkins. How to take backup? Just in C drive, Jenkins folder is there. When you install Jenkins, you get Jenkins folder in C drive. Just you take the backup of that folder. Okay, that's what taking backup. Just keep one more copy. Okay. That is one thing. For example, this is my laptop. Okay, this is my EC2. In that Jenkins folder is there. Okay. I have installed some jobs and I have installed some plugins. You take the copy of this folder, you keep in some other EC2. When you install Jenkins, in that Jenkins, automatically you can see all these job plugins and automatically. That's how it goes. Okay. Yeah, here also we provide training to colleagues, freshers and all. Yeah, make sure that pipeline is running properly. If at all any issues are there, linking and all that, you need to verify in first project, right? You need to verify. We can't say where exactly error is there, but you need to verify each and every step. And we need to upgrade plugins. We need to download plugins and all every now and then based on the requirement. Okay. Yeah, these are the things. We document any new innovations and all. We generally document. That's what we do in Jenkins. Then after the CloudWatch. CloudWatch, you are going to use CloudWatch and developers are, these AWS teams also, they are going to use CloudWatch. Generally what we do, we monitor CPU and RAM majorly. That is one task. Second task, we create alarms to get notifications. Okay, whether CPU utilization is under control or not, RAM is under control or not. Creating SNS topics. We add all subscriptions and all. We add all DevOps team members in that topic so that everyone will get notifications. Creating customization graphs and all, line graph, different types. Okay, so that we can observe that graph status easily. Okay, and creating billing alarms, that also comes under CloudWatch. So that we keep our AWS account billing under control. That you do generally when you get a seniority position and all. Yeah, we enable detailed monitoring and sometimes based on the required detailed monitoring, so that that will be monitored after every 1 week. Here we also work closely with AWS teams because they are also going to work on CloudWatch. So we both work together. Okay, yeah, that's what we do in CloudWatch. These are the tools. And Kubernetes, you mentioned that. Yeah, you mentioned what are the theoretical topics you mentioned. Okay, you explain what is the theory part, what do you learn, and also how to installation steps and all. You explain that much only. If they ask you, any practical things in Kubernetes, in that while explaining this. See, here only you are the one who is giving answer, right? Reply. That time you say Kubernetes, I know everything theoretically, and also I know how to install also. I'm learning that Kubernetes because recently they introduced that tool in my company. I'm learning. I'm right now in a learning stage. Maybe after 3 to 4 months, I'll be learning Kubernetes completely. Just create this positive impression. Okay, that creates a good impression actually, because they also know that it's a new tool, right? So they won't ask many questions from you. Okay, these are the day-to-day tasks. So see, I think we spend I have given some more than 6 to 7 points in every tool. In that, even if you explain 2 to 3 points in every tool, enough here, more than enough. Got it? As you understood what actually you won't get this much of time. Okay, he will listen for 2 to 3 minutes, then he will ask one more. He will ask third question that, hey, what are the errors that you are facing and all. But if you explain, if you get time, you explain everything. That really creates good impression. And if you're able to explain all these things, that's a job is yours. Understood, everyone? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay. So second question is over. Now, what is the third question? Third question you will ask. Okay, Sai, I understood what you are doing every day. What are the problems recently you faced? What are the challenges? What are the errors that you recently got? How did you troubleshoot? What are the errors you got? How did you troubleshoot? Okay, that is the one they are going to ask the third question. Okay, so the answer to this one, I'm going to explain in tomorrow's class, because continuously speaking, right? I am getting exhausted. Okay, so from here onwards, okay, I'm going to explain in tomorrow's class. Okay, so what are the errors generally we are getting, how to troubleshoot, and after that, what kind of question they will ask. Then after that, technical round, manager round, HR round, that all remaining things are not so difficult. They're very easy. That onwards, will continue in tomorrow's class. Got it? Okay, so if you get any doubts, don't worry, hold your doubts. Okay, tomorrow you will get answers to almost all questions. Okay, all questions. So there won't be any time constraint. Tomorrow also we have class at 7 p.m. only. But yes, we'll be spending good amount of time. I hope to see you all in tomorrow's class. I'll clarify all your doubts. Then only after that I'll wind up my class. Okay. So tomorrow I'm going to start my class with this: what kind of errors we get, how to troubleshoot. Got it? So if you get any doubt, just hold your doubts, make a note of those doubts. Tomorrow all doubts will be clarified. Okay. Yeah. So anything